Hey Spite, did you see how BMW is having to do a whole stop sale on all of their bikes in the United States? Oh no. Anyway.
Oh, it's so hot outside. Why do I have to talk about BMW? I don't want to talk about BMW. Oh, man. Some people ask why I seem to have a issue with BMW motorcycles. And, you know what? I don't really have an issue with BMW motorcycles. It's more just, I find them all kind of boring. It's not really a problem with their bikes. They don't make bad motorcycles. In fact, they make probably the industry's best motorcycles, I would argue. Pretty much, they're all flawless machines, and they work forever, and people absolutely adore them. And I'm not going to sit here and say that because you have a BMW, you made a mistake. I just think if you have a BMW, you probably also have a favorite brand of pocket protector. I'm just going to say that. Oh, that's not going to piss anybody off. I'm also going to say, because I am a now new Grizo owner, that, spoiler alert, by the way, I'm filming this after I filmed the Grizo Day in the Saddle, and before I released the Grizo Day in the Saddle. Yeah, this is my Grizo now. So, yeah, stay tuned for the full review. But I'm also going to say, as a newly minted Grizo owner, that the R9T is just a shameless German knockoff of an Italian icon. I mean, just listen to that glorious Italian grumble of a 90-degree air-cooled V-twin. You're not going to get that out of some fart machine boxer engine. But let's talk about the BMW issue, because this is something that a buddy of mine actually sent me this link to an article saying that BMW has issued a stop sale on all motorcycles in the United States except for the CE04. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So, what did BMW claim? Well, first of all, they wrote a whole statement to the dealerships. But to make sure that I get it right, I'm actually going to pause the video right here, and you're going to listen to me read the exact statement from BMW, because I don't want to get it wrong.
BMW of North America is dedicated to providing vehicles to our customers that meet their expectations. To ensure that our vehicles are of the highest industry standards, BMW performs ongoing testing and evaluation. Following recent quality analysis, BMW is pursuing measures to further evaluate the material used in a component of its motorcycle evaporative system, which may not have been produced to material specifications. As a result, BMW of North America is issuing a temporary, voluntary stop sale for all new and pre-owned BMW motorcycle models in dealer inventory, except for the CE04. This temporary stop sale is not safety related, and BMW owners may continue to ride their motorcycles as normal. BMW also recommends the addition of a quad-lock phone mount to all motorcycles in its lineup. Actually, I added that part, but it's true. I recommend the addition of quad locks to just about any bike out there. I've been running with Quadlock products for about a year at this point, and there is no going back. Whether it's their phone case, which will protect your phone from all of life's daily abuses, to their handlebar mounts, which fit any motorcycle. They've got stem mounts for you sport bike boys, as well as new clutch perch and reservoir mounts for even more flexibility. I've tested Quadlock mounts riding across the country and off-road. I've even crashed off-road with my phone on the handlebars, and it was just fine. They've also got their new 12-volt smart charger, which turns itself off with the ignition, so you don't have to worry about draining your battery, and they've got their vibration dampener, so if your motorcycle vibrates like a brick in a drying machine, you don't have to worry about it damaging any of your components. Regardless of what your need or your application is, Quadlock has a case and mount combo that'll get the job done. Click that link down in the description below and check out everything they have to offer. Now, let's see what BMW is gonna do about all of that stop sale nonsense.
So yeah, it's the usual corporate line about we want to give our motorcyclists and riders and customers the best experience possible. Of course you do. But there's not really a whole lot saying what's going on. They claim that it has to do with emissions, which blows my mind that in the United States of America, in the year of our Lord 2023, a company is having to stop sale on all of their motorcycles because of an emissions problem. And they're saying that it's not, I assume, recall worthy, because there doesn't seem to be a massive recall out, at least at time of filming. They're just not selling any more motorcycles, which to my mind means that there is a defect in these motorcycles, but it's not deemed unsafe, and therefore you can just continue to ride your existing BMWs and you're going to be fine. But any new ones just don't seem to fit in with whatever regulation they seem to be in violation of, which again, when it comes to emissions in the United States, I find that very, very odd. I really do, especially when you consider that a lot of motorcycles are no longer available in the United States, despite being completely fine here, but not passing emissions regulations in Europe. The Sportster comes to mind. The Sportster famously could not meet European emissions. They weren't going to force the bike to make European emissions, so they were just like, we'll make a new one, and we'll sell off all of our stock, and we'll make a few more for a few more years so people can get them while they can. And now there are no new Sportsters, at least the Evo Sportster anyway. You can get the 975 and the Sportster S, and then you can get into the whole conversation about whether or not the Sportster S and 975 are worthy successors to the Sportster line, and there's a whole other nut to crack there. And suddenly I'm rambling about Harley Davidson in a video that has nothing to do with them. But anywho, that's kind of all we know at this point. There's that statement, and that's it. It really does make me wonder, what is wrong with these motorcycles? What's the issue that they were getting away with for a long time, apparently, and now suddenly they're not? You know, we don't have to get our vehicles smogged, at least not here in Texas. You don't have to go check anything. Somebody stole the catalytic converter out of my truck, and nobody looked for it. Technically, my car, my van anyway, should not pass inspection. Nobody cares. Emissions regulations here are, what did Barbossa say in Pirates of the Caribbean? They're more of guidelines than actual rules. And we've seen so many models go the way of the dodo as a result of tightening emissions in Europe. And then basically my understanding is motorcycle companies just release European bikes in the States. They build them to European standards and then release them in the States. And I was under the impression that BMW was doing the exact same thing, because I was talking to some of the guys at Motivation. This is a while ago. Motivation, by the way, if you're not aware, is the SC Project dealer in the United States. If you buy an SC Project pipe, you live in America, it comes from Motivation. And by the way, based out of Austin. If you're here in Austin and you got a nice Euro bike that you want to get yourself some cool bits and bobs for, I believe they still offer a 10% discount if you come pick it up local, which is cool. So check out Motivation. And I was talking to those guys a while ago, because I love to talk to Nate because he knows so much about so many different kinds of bikes, and because he's so tapped into the exhaust market as a result of working with Aero and Leo Vinci and SE Project and all those guys. He was basically saying, yeah, look, the BMW, yeah, it makes like, we were talking about the S1000RR here. Yeah, it makes like 200 horsepower, but if you put an exhaust on it, it makes 240. You just exhaust and tune, and it's capable of going up to a ridiculous amount of horsepower. Just because they're throttled back from the factory to meet emissions regulations. But here, you can run a race-prepped motorcycle on the street as long as you have lights and a plate. That's all that matters. Nothing about noise, nothing about smog or any of that BS. You might get pulled over by a pedantic cop. Really, the U.S., when it comes to motorcycles, is about as lax as it gets, except for when it comes to laws like, lane splitting or filtering, which would allow motorcyclists to survive. But again, a whole other topic there. And it really does confuse me, because how does this BMW not meet American standards, but it does meet European standards? I know everybody thinks that, Biden is some socialist oligarch, but that's like just making all kinds of rules. But he's not. He's not doing anything to really help the environment at all. He's not anywhere close. Yeah, he stopped a few leases and he spent a little bit of money on the environment, but it's nothing. So what happened? I really do think that this is a story we're going to see evolve a little bit, and if you own a BMW, I wouldn't be too terribly surprised to see your bike come up for a recall, because this is really weird that this is just on a go-forward situation. Usually they have to correct anything that's out on the streets if they have to correct stuff in the factory. Now, I would like to take a second here just to talk a little bit about what I think about all this emissions stuff, because, it is just a demonstrable fact that humanity is contributing to global warming and or climate change, as they're saying now. It's all the same thing. We here in Texas have huge, massive highways that are filled with dudes driving giant pickup trucks by themselves, burning, all kinds of fun fuels and choking the sky. And then you got guys rolling coal. And I really do think that we should, at least as stewards of the planet, endeavor to protect the environment a little bit. I don't think that my van should be road legal. I love that it is, because it's mine, and it's really convenient to me to have, this big stupid van and not have to worry about it. But, it's not exactly great for the planet for me to be driving something like that. And I know that there's people out there who are going to say, well, electric bikes aren't the solution either. Yeah, you're totally right. I think that the solution is probably a little bit of both. That's part of the reason why I'm so excited for the Kawasaki hybrid motorcycle. It's like a parallel twin with a electric bike battery. That sounds really cool to me. You eliminate some of the highway issues by having a little 400cc parallel twin, but then you get all of the benefits of having that low-down torque of an electric bike. Sign me up, baby. That sounds awesome. I really do think that there's a happy medium out there, and I would hate for me to have to turn in my Grezzo here, because I just love this thing. I love the way it sounds, and yeah, it's burning dinosaur bones and it's running rich as hell, but I don't really care, because at the end of the day, it's not going to be the individual guy in the street riding whatever bike he's riding or driving whatever car he's driving. It's really coming down to the companies. The companies are doing all the bad shit to the environment. And here at the end here, it is worth pointing out that the one exception to this stop sale is the CEO4, which is their electric maxi scooter, which is, you know, one of the only machines that doesn't produce emissions from BMW. So that one is still selling while the other ones have some kind of emissions problem. And let me know your thoughts on all of this down below, because it's so weird, it's so bizarre. And this is a situation I'm going to follow for a while just because I'm interested in it. I have no clue what's happening, why this is going down, and I really want to know more. It's so weird. It's so weird that here in America, a company is stopping sale because of the environment. Let me know all your thoughts on this down in the description below. And while you're down there, don't forget to check out Quad Lock, the sponsor of this video. I've got mine right here. I put it on every single one of my motorcycles. I even have one on the little Talk 250 now, just because I know at some point I am going to be riding it on the street, I hope. And it'll be nice to be able to see where I'm going. And with that, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.